Hi guys, this is Ma from NOS Couture, and today we'll be making this beautiful panel dress. Okay, please stay tuned. Thanks guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ma from NOS Couture, and today we're making a panel dress. A short panel dress. There'll be a canoe neck, a long sleeve with the slits by the side, and yeah, so let's get to it. For this class, the length of her dress is 37. So for this front piece, this is the front piece we are cutting down, the front part. For this, the length of her dress is 37, and the difference between her front half length and back half length is 2.5. So it's 2.5. So I'm adding that to the length of the dress, which is at 2.5. 37 plus 2.5 plus my 1.5 sewing allowance. 1.5 sewing allowance. So okay. So in total, I got that to be 41. So I'll go ahead and input all my measurements now. Her shoulder is 18, which is 9. So I'll form that into a square, which is at 9.5. This is my center fold, 9.5. Okay, I'll form that into a square. So because this is a panel dress, that's why I'm using a pattern paper for it, so I can split, open, and do whatever it is I want to do. And I'll be using a shoulder bustier for this, a shoulder dart for this class. So if you don't like, share, and subscribe to my channel, please do. And God bless us all as we do. Please like and share to your loved ones out there. Thank you guys for always watching. Okay, so her bust point is 12.5, which is a large size. 12.5. So in my sewing allowance, which is 13. Her under bust is 17. 17.5. I'm adding my half an inch sewing allowance. Okay. Her front half length is 19 plus my sewing allowance, which is 19.5. Okay, I really don't need my hip measurement, but I will just include that into this. I'll just include that into this 7.5 plus 2 inches. I really don't need it, but let's just include it. So I'll rule all these lines out now. I hope my pencil is visible in this class. So I did extra two for the hip line, just to balance up the hip line. If you're always watching on this channel, you would always notice that I do this always. Okay, just to balance up our hip line for this class. Okay, so this is my bust point. I'm rolling it out as well. So this is my chest line. So I'll label chest line, bust point, under bust, front half length, which is your waist, hip 1, hip 2. Okay, so what I'll do next is divide the P2P by 2. The P2P, which is her bust span. Her bust span is 9. So since I will be splitting it open, which is 4.5 plus my sewing allowance, that will be 5 altogether. 5 all the way to the top of my chest line. I think I'll just stop there. Okay, I'll take the 5 all the way. Jesus Christ, Nazareth. I'll rule all these lines out now, then come back and show us. Okay, so I'm done ruling the dart line. Okay, so it's a canoe neck from the style we're seeing from the video that I posted before this tutorial. So if you want to get a trick for a canoe neck, what you should have remaining for your shoulder slope should be around 2.5 to 3 inches for a canoe neck. So her shoulder is 9. Her shoulder is 9. Let's do it this way. Her shoulder is 9. Okay. Let's say this is her actual shoulder, which is at 9, and the remaining one here is my sewing allowance. Shoulder is 9. So I will just remove like 3 inches so that by the time I'm done, I will need half an inch to sew the neckline. You need half an inch to join the armhole and the armhole for the sleeve. So I'll be left with 2, so it's okay. So the wideness of this neck would be around 6 inches for a shoulder 9. It's still okay. So, and the depth of this neckline should be around, I don't want it to be choking on her too much, should be around 3.5. So it's fine for her. So with the help of my French coat, I'll connect all these lines together. So I think I'm still going to take the cano more. Let's take it half an inch more to the shoulder. Okay, so this would be my cano. Then I'll come down to my shoulder slope. A shoulder of 18, I'll use 1.2, around 1.2, 1.5, and I will roll this to the tip of my neckline. But while I'm doing that, I would also give the neckline also, so that it doesn't drop off from the shoulder whenever she wears it. Okay, so I have gaped now, like you can see here. I hope it's visible. Okay, it's quite visible. So I have gaped, as you can see here. So I'll go ahead now and measure what I have on my shoulder to divide it into 2. Divide it into 2. Okay, so I can get my shoulder here. So I can get my shoulder dart, shoulder seam. Okay, so I have this to be my shoulder seam. So for my bust, 4.5 plus my sewing allowance, which is 5. Let's take it upwards. Okay, so for my bust points now, I'll come down 0.75. She's a large size. Okay, 0.75, and I will go up as well 0.75. Okay, so I will link this line to this 0.75 that I got here. That will be that placement on my shoulder bust here. So from here to here, I would make the link together. I have made the link together now. So I will now take out a dart of 2 inches from the shoulder. But before I take out that dart of 2 inches, this line I will rule it out outside in, so I can replace my darts by the time I'm done. So I'll take out a dart of 2 inches from the shoulder, which is here. Okay, so I will take this 2 inches to this point. That is the dart for the shoulder bust here. The shoulder dart, sorry, why do I keep saying bust here? The shoulder dart. So this is my shoulder dart. Okay, so I will now remove my dart intake from my half length now, which is a large size. Let's just do 1 inch. We're not really making a bust here, we're making a dart. Okay, let's remove 1 inch on both sides. So this 1 inch now, I will take it to this 0.75 under my bust line. Okay, I'll take it to the 0.75 under my bust line. The fabric we're working with is a bit stretchy, so I would not use her actual measurement. Please, whenever you're working with a stretchy material, don't use the person's actual measurement, except that person does not want it to be clingy on them. But if you want it to be clingy on them, you just go out and take out what is necessary for that person. Okay, so from the hip line now, I will go up 3 inches to 4 inches. Okay, 3 inches to 4 inches, and I will merge this line back. So successfully I've taken out the dart for the waist automatically. So I have taken out my darts. Okay, so I just use the basic darts for this class. Nothing too serious. Let me just contour the bust and everything. Okay. Okay, so what I will do next is impute my armhole curve like we always do. So please ignore this. Let's just impute our armhole curve first. Let me impute it, dividing the shoulder by 2, the shoulder here to the chest line by 2. Now come in 0.75, which is a large size. So I'll just make that normal linkage we do for front armhole before I replace back the darts. So this is the normal armhole. So I'll replace back the darts down. Okay, so remember that I have taken out 2 inches from this space, so I will replace the darts now from wherever this was that, wherever I took the dark point, I'll replace the 2 inches back, and I will need half an inch sewing allowance to join it together. So if you don't do this, it shortens your shoulder slope. By the time you're done sewing, you would have to add more fabric to it. So from this place now, I will retrace back my armhole to my chest line. I will retrace back my armhole to my chest line. So this is my new armhole now. By the time I'm done sewing, I can take out everything. So I'll go ahead and repeat all my measurements. Her hip is 53. Her hip is 53 divided by 4 plus my sewing allowance at 13.25. I'll need my sewing allowance 1.5 inch. Okay, so same thing I have on my first hip, I will bring to my second hip 13.25. So anything I have here, I'm taking it to the lower part as well, to the lower part of my dress. Okay, 13.25 plus my 1.5. Okay, so I'll move over to the hip now. I'll move over to the waist. Her waist is 44 divided by 4, which is 11. Okay, so I'll include my dart. My dart is 2 inch here. Okay, 2 inch here, and I'll need my 1.5 sewing allowance plus half an inch to join my dart. Okay, her bust is 47 divided by 4, which is 11.75. It's 11.75. Okay, so I'll need half an inch to join this dart around here, plus my 1.5 sewing allowance, which is 2 inches. Okay, so whatever it is I have here, I will take it to the upper part. 11.75 plus 2 inches. So if you have a case like this, just look at how this connection is looking. This is the waist. Meanwhile, it's supposed to come in more. So if you have a connection like this, just take it all the way up. By the time you're done sewing, you can now bring back to your table and reconnect all lines. By that time, you would have sewn your dart on your piece, and it will be much more easier for you to make the connection. So I will just go ahead and take this all the way up. No cause for alarm. Okay, no cause for alarm, please. You can redo your dart and everything. You can redo your measurements by the time you're done. So this is her hip. So whatever I have on the lower hip, I'll take it to the hem of my dress. Okay. So there's no cause for alarm, no cause for alarm. So I will go ahead and take out the difference between my front half length and my back half length, which is 2.5 from my bust line. Then I'll roll it all the way to the tip of my bust. Okay, so I want to re-edit this neckline so I don't end up making the dress and re-cutting the neckline again. So I'm taking out one from the actual depth of the neckline, so I will just realign it back to the tip of the actual neckline. Okay, I don't want to give myself that stress of cutting necklines over and over again. So with this, it will not choke her on her neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut. But before I cut, when I get to this part where there's the dart, I will not cut directly on the dart point. I will fold this way and make sure this dart is meeting up. This dart leg is meeting up with this dart leg. Okay? So that my dart can be accurate. Or I can still face it this way and reline my shoulder slope. And reline my shoulder slope. Okay, so this is my new shoulder slope now. So I'll be cutting on this actual line. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut here. The length is 37 inch plus 1.5 sewing allowance, which is 38 and a half. So I will just rule that line out tightly. 8.5. So I will go through the same measurements I did for the front without my underbust place. But firstly, I will measure my zipper allowance because there will be allowance. Okay, so I'll take it all the way to the top, and I'll do that and come back and show us. So I've gone ahead to impute my zipper allowance, and I divided my shoulder by 2 with my sewing allowance, and this is it, 9.5 for my shoulder, bust points with my sewing allowance half an inch, back half length with my sewing allowance half an inch, the hip depth with my sewing allowance, and to balance up the hip line. So I'll go ahead from after my zipper. I'll measure my bust difference, my bust span, which is 9 with my sewing allowance half an inch, because I'm going to cut it out. You know, we're making a panel dress, so this is the back pattern. So I'll take that 5 all the way to the top. Okay, all the way to the top. But before that, if I get to the top, I will also impute the same neck width that I used for my front neckline. The width I used was 6 inches for the width. Then for the depth, I would use 1.5 for her. Okay, so I will connect from here to here. It's my French comb. Okay, I'll get my shoulder slope as well, like I did for the front. 1.2. From there, I will connect and gaze as well. As well, I have gaped the neckline. So the difference between these two, between my shoulder slope, I will get it also like I did for the front. I'm having a front and back shoulder stacked. So I'll take this bust span also to the chest line, and I'll rule all these lines outrightly. Okay. So you've still not liked, share and subscribe to my channel, please help us now. We take God beg you. Yeah? We take God beg you to like, share and subscribe to our channel. So I'll connect this line to the chest line. I will praise you with that deal. I will praise you, Papa. So I have contoured it in a way it won't be too sharp. And I'll come to the waistline and take out my darts for the waistline. 0.75. 0.75. She's a large size, so that is what we always do. From the hip line, I will come up 3 inches. Okay, so I'll connect all these lines together from here to here, from here to here. Okay, so I've gotten my dart. So I'll roll this line out like I did for the front. Roll it out. I'll take a half an inch after this line. That is my dart intake from the back, and the length of that dart intake will be around 3.5 to 4 inches. Okay, so you align and you take out the dart. Okay, so from this, my actual shoulder, I will replace the half an inch with my sewing allowance, which is in total 1 inch. Okay, so this will be my actual shoulder now. I will take the shoulder curve, but before that, let me take the actual measurement. Hip 13.2, which is 53 divided by 4, 13.2. Okay, then my sewing allowance half an inch join the darts, and 1.5 inches to sew as well. 1.5, that's 2 inches. Same thing for this side, same thing for this one as well. The second hip line was 2 inches. So whatever it is I have here, I'll take it to the down lower part as well. 15.5. Okay, then at the waistline, our waist is 44 divided by 4, 11. 44 divided by 4, which is 11. I'll impute my darts 1.5 plus my sewing allowance 2 inches to join the darts together, and I will need 1.5 inch to sew. The bust is 47, which is 11.75. I'll need half an inch to join my dart. Okay, let's check the dart that goes through here. There's a dart that goes through, which is 0.75. And I will need half an inch to join the darts together. Then I will need 1.5 inch to join my darts together. Okay, so from here I'll check what I have in total. 14.75. I'll take it all the way 15. Okay, so I'll connect all my points together from my waist to my bust line, from waist to hip line. Okay. I'll make all connections down here. My French fold here. So I'll take this part as well, downwards. So I will redraw now the shoulder fold. It's very hard. Okay, so this is my shoulder fold. After doing all this, I will go to the waistline. This is the waistline, and remove the zip bulge. I'll take as far as 0.75 for her. She's large, and besides, the material we're using is very stretchy, so I will make all connections so that by the time she wears it, it does not bulge behind her back. Okay, so this point outwards, this other point inwards to the hip line. Okay, so this is what we have. Let's see. So this is what we have. So I'll go ahead and cut my darts and get ready to place on my fabric for my panel dress. So I'm putting my darts open first. So it doesn't get too sharp on this point. And then at this point, I'll close this so I can realign my dart. I'll now cut up all my darts that I need to be. I'll cut up my neckline. I'll extend the neckline into the zipper part. I'll take out my zipper bulge. That's for this part as well, this one. So I have 4 patterns automatically for front and back. So I'll get my fabric now so that we can start placing them on the fabric and enable it with more volumes on the sides and the waistline. So it's looking like the neck is too wide, so for the back, I would know how to control the front when I'm sewing it. But this back, I don't want the back dropping or bulging. I want to gape it, okay? So if you don't know how to gape, just watch how I gape this back. So it can be perfect on the person's back, okay? So you just pick, or you can measure the difference between your neck and draw a line to somewhere around the chest line, okay? Then slash it open. Slash it open. the back is looking like it's going to gape already, so I want to make it firm so that whenever whoever wears it, you see what I did was stash it open, then place it on top of each other by half an inch. Okay. Then you close it up with your tape. This is what patterns can do for you. You cannot do this on fabric. You cannot do this on fabric. So this is one of the usefulness of using patterns. Then you can see the neck is not so much wide, but it's still going to be perfect on her shoulder when she wears it. The front one, I'm still looking at getting it, but I know what to do when I'm sewing. It doesn't look too wide like the back. Okay, so always label your patterns. Always label your patterns to avoid issues at the end of the day. Okay, I'm going ahead to place it on my pattern. So I want to add volume to this pattern now, to this piece. Okay, so this is my center fold. Remember, this is the front. So I placed it in on my center fold, which is this. Okay, so I came out from the hem of my dress by 5 inches. So from this 5 inches, I will take it to my waistline. Okay, to my 5 inch to my waistline. This is my waistline here. Okay, so this is me adding volume to my dress. I'm trying not to coat too much, but please, this is white, eh? So just understand what I'm doing. So this is my 5 inch. Okay, try not to coat too much, please. So at this point, I'll come up, which is the length of the dress. Let me just mark it a bit so that we can see. This is it. This is the length of the dress. You don't want it to be too sharp. I'll come up by 0.5. Okay, and just make a slight curl from that part. Okay, so this is how it's going to be looking like. So when I want to cut now, I'll cut from here into the 5. Okay, so for this other one, which is the side part of my front, so I had to face it in such a way that I won't waste fabric. I'm supposed to face it this way, but I had to face it this way because I'm going to add volume on this side and I'll add volume on this side. So on this side now, on this side, let me place in my pins. Let me hold down with my pins. So I don't know how you want to sew this without using a pattern paper. If there's any other way possible, because you're still going to waste enough fabric if you go to cut this without any pattern paper. So this is her waistline, right? This is her waistline, yes. So from that point, from the hem of my dress, I'll come out 5.5 inch. Okay. So this is my 5.5 inch. I will rule that line to be on a straight line, so we can see it very clear. Please indulge me. This is the white fabric. I don't want to spin it, but I know what I'm doing. Okay. At this other part too, I will come out 5 inches as well. Okay. So I don't have up to 5 inches. This is this factory edge. I'll just make use of what I have there. Okay. 4.5. It still won't stop the what's it called, the volume from not adding up. It won't stop it from doing that. So from this, whatever it is I have here, I'll merge it to my waistline as well. Okay, my long metal roll. So this is my waistline, and this is what I have. So I'll rule. So when I'm cutting, I'll cut this way. Okay. So the same thing I did for that part. From here, I'll go up 1/2 inch and contour it into this part. Same thing from here, from my waistline to this part. I will also contour it 1/2 inch. Okay. So please, I'll cut now. So please watch as I cut. This is for the 2 front pieces now. So I'll start cutting now. one thing about this panel dress is it eats a lot of fabric. It's not like you're putting on the flare form, but not really a flare form. So I'm putting on the neckline now. I'm cutting at the shoulders. Okay. So this is my center fold. Okay. So this is all my center fold looking like I notch all points like I'm doing cutting. So I'll cut on this part as well. This is the side piece of my center part or my front part. So I'll now contour this part to my bust line. Okay. So you see how far I've gone. So I'm putting on the armhole now. Cutting on the bust part now. So I'll now take it the same way I did for that part now. Another 0.5 I told us about to control that part so it's not too sharp at the hairline. And this one as well. So when I'm done, I'll go ahead and notch all points. First point on the bust waistline, hip line level up part, I'll notch it on the fabric. So I'll do for the back as well. I'll cut for the back as well. The back view. So I placed it away from the center fold by 4 inch. Okay. By 4 inch because I want to create volume as well. So I ruled out the line and I created from the 4 inch into the waistline, and from this side of the back, center back, I came out 5 inches and I rolled into the waistline. This is the side back, same process as well. At the hemline, 5 inch, I rolled to the waistline. At this other side, 4 inches into this part. So I'll go ahead and cut all pieces now. So I'll take out the half an inch I did for the front and from the back as well. Half an inch. I'll contour it into this part. And go ahead and cut into the waistline. So this part goes from the waistline to that 4 inches which I brought out. Okay. So I'll contour that half an inch I did too on this other side. This is the side back, the center back, sorry. So make sure you notch all points. I'm going to do that once I take off this last part on. So I'll cut on this one. I'll cut on this piece now. On the waistline, I'll go outwards. Also, do not forget to go up half an inch into this part and go up half an inch into this part as well. Okay. It gives it one fine curve. It doesn't make it all sharp. It gives it one fine, beautiful curve on the hemline. Okay, cut this as well. Into the waistline. Now cut the armhole. So go ahead and notch all points now. Make sure you notch all points to indicate so that by the time you're sewing it won't be too hard for you, okay? When you're sewing, you can notch the waistline, bust line. So when you take one piece on the other side, you add the notch points together and everything takes, then you know where to cut off from. Okay, so I really don't need to keep mine. Just these 3 points are very, very important. So I'll do that on the other piece. And we'll go ahead and cut out the sleeve for this piece now. The sleeve is a basic sleeve with a bit of an A shape on the lower part, so it goes all the way down. Okay. Okay guys, so I'm about to cut the sleeve. The length of her sleeve is 24. Okay, so 24. So this one heft here would be for the adding off to the sleeve to form an A shape for me. Okay. So I'll rule this out and I'll focus on this 24. So I'll impute the depth of her bicep. For her, she's a large size. I used 5. So on this now, I will impute her round sleeve measurement. Her round sleeve measurement is 17.5. So I'll divide that by 2, which is here. Okay. I divided by 2, which is here, 8.75 plus my 2-inch sewing allowance. Okay. So I'll come to her wrist measurement, which is here, which is 8.5, which is 4.2. 8.5 divided by 2, which is 4.2. Okay, yes, 4.2. Then I'll add my sewing allowance, which is at 1.2. Okay, so at this point here, I will take the measurements downwards, which is here. Whatever it is I have here, I'll take it downwards, which is 5.6. 5.6. Okay, so at this 5.6 I'll add extra 1.5 to it. Okay, so this will be my curve now. This is how it will be looking. Then from here I'll connect to this point with my long ruler. So connected down. So this is how my sleeve will be looking on the lower part. I think I want to come in more here so the A shape won't be too much, so it just looks firm around her arm. Then at the beginning of my fabric here, at the midpoint, I'll go at 0.75 like we do our basic sleeves. Okay, like we all know how we do our basic sleeves. If you don't know how we do this, please I have a sleeve tutorial on my channel where you can get a tutorial of the full basic sleeve. Okay. Yes, so after the sleeve now, we'll just go ahead and cut facing for all our pieces, or you can go ahead and join your darts first on all pieces, then you can come back and cut your facing for it. Okay, so that will be all for this tutorial. If you feel this tutorial has been helpful to you, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you on the next video. Thanks guys for watching. Bye bye.